Welcome back to the History Shelf, everybody. My name is Peg. Well, today's video, I'm a day late again on my new week, new arrivals. You know what? I think I might move my new week, new arrivals video to Tuesdays because Mondays are just a little too hectic. What with getting back into the workflow, and there's just a lot of things to do. And also, hey, it was my birthday on Sunday. So, uh, yeah, I meant to maybe, try to do a video, but my sister came out to visit and she stayed like a long weekend to celebrate my very special milestone birthday, the 11th anniversary of my 39th birthday. So, isn't that fantastic? Yeah. So, I've got a few new arrivals here and I wanted to share with you. I'm also going to be posting very soon, maybe tomorrow, a belated birthday book haul. I've had some packages arrive from Book Outlet. Yes, I indulged again. Oh, the things I do for you people. I do have a lot of books to show you, and I've also gone on some book hunting expeditions online for some secondhand books of some very rare-ish older books to complete my collection, historical collections. So we'll be having a used book haul video as well. A variety of very cool things to show you. So those are a couple of videos coming up soon. But for now, I wanted to show you some of the awesome new and upcoming books you can expect. But right now, this is the highlight because I'm kind of on a kick now to collect as much as I can of David Hackett Fisher's work, thanks to Bill Rutenberg at the Rutenberg Library, who showed me his very sweet edition of, I think, his Liberty and Freedom, which is a massive book. I went, and this will also be in my used book haul video, I went looking for that book and was able to find it, not for 25 cents like he got it, but, fairly cheap. But at the same time I was doing that, I realized David Hackett Fisher has a new book coming out. I think it's already out. This is put out by Simon & Schuster. I was lucky enough to get a review copy, final copy, of this. African Founders, How Enslaved People Expanded American Ideals. His brand new work. He's also written Washington's Crossing. I believe I do have that one. My Washington books are kind of scattered. I've got chunks of them together in different places. So my library in my new home is still a work in progress, as I keep saying. It's a recurring refrain. But isn't this a beautiful... First of all, it's just a wonderful painting on the cover. I'll tell you who that is here in a second. But, and hopefully you can't hear the fan running in the game room. We call it the game room, but it's like a big, it's kind of like a big public sitting area that on the second floor. It is very hot here in Denver, or just outside Denver today. 93, tomorrow will be 95. So even with air conditioning, we do have air conditioning, but you got to have some strong airflow going sometimes. I'll see if I can't find out who that is. Oh, yeah, it says on the back here. On the cover, Portrait of Absalom Jones by Raphael Peale. All right. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing with David Hackett Fisher. I've been noticing Johnny Keene on his channel. Well, I don't think he mentioned this book, but he mentioned a book called Albion or something like that, which reminded me that I really want to read Albion Seed. And I think I'm going to pick up Champlain's Dream. Book Outlet's having another 20% off sale, and there's a paperback version of that for like $8, brand new, that I think I'm going to go for. Yeah, so I'm kind of like on a David Hackett Fisher kick. But this is his new book, so let me go ahead and give you a rundown. In this sweeping foundational work, Pulitzer Prize-winning historian David Hackett Fisher draws on more than 2 decades of research to show that there were several varieties of slavery in America, varying from region to region. Moreover, enslaved Africans and their descendants ultimately expanded and enlarged the very concept of American freedom. Enslaved people brought to America from Africa came from different regions and different ethnic groups, just like their enslavers. Over time, they interacted with colonists of European origin to create new regional cultures in the colonial U.S., from Puritan New England to Dutch New York, Quaker Pennsylvania, Cavalier Virginia, coastal Carolina, and multicultural Louisiana. The Africans brought with them linguistic skills, novel techniques of animal husbandry and farming, and generations-old ethical principles, among other attributes. African Founders reveals how much our country was shaped by these African influences in its early years, producing a new, distinctly American culture. Sorry about that. These puppies are acting up. Be good. Sorry about that. So it's a brand new landmark work of history, and I'm so ready for it, and it's a nice big chunkster. So African Founders from Simon & Schuster, brand new. Ask your library, look for it online. Bam. Let's see, maybe we can do a read-along or something. I got to figure out when to do it, but if there's enough interest, hey, maybe I'll finally do one on this channel. I know people have been asking, let's do some read-alongs, and I think there are a couple of you out there. I need to get back to you. You mentioned a couple of books you're interested in maybe doing, so okay. So there's that as well. And I got some new books I've got some galleys, meaning they're not out yet, but just so you know, they're on the horizon for you. But let me show you the ones that are already available. So Naval Institute Press. This has been out for a little bit, but I realized I missed it. It flew under my radar. And as you know, I love my military history, especially naval history of World War II. And I wanted to get this because this is Commanding the Pacific, Marine Corps Generals in World War II by Stephen R. Taff. I've been reading a lot of books for a commission review on World War II, specifically the Pacific Theater, and learning more about the Marine Corps generals involved and just the inter-service rivalry that went on in World War II between Navy and Marine, Army and Marine. It's like everyone was against the Marines. The Marines were their own entity. But this book from Naval Institute Press, I really wanted to take a look at. It's like 200 pages. But let me tell you a little bit about what this is about here. The Marine Corps covered itself in glory in World War II with victories over the Japanese in hard-fought battles such as Guadalcanal, Tarawa, and Iwo Jima. While these battles are well known, those who led the Marines into them have remained obscure until now. In Commanding the Pacific, Stephen R. Taff analyzes the 15 high-level Marine generals who led the Corps' 6 combat divisions and 2 corps in the conflict. He concludes that these leaders played an indispensable and unheralded role in organizing, training, and leading their men to victory. Taff insists there was nothing inevitable. Sorry, my face is shining. There was nothing inevitable. Sorry, guys. About the Marine Corps' success in World War II. The small pre-war size of the Corps meant that its commandant had to draw his combat leaders from a limited pool of officers, who often lacked the education of their Army and Navy counterparts. Indeed, there were fewer than 100 Marine officers with the necessary rank, background, character, and skills for its high-level combat assignments. That's not very much. In addition, the Army and Navy froze the Marines out of high-level strategic decisions and frequently impinged on Marine prerogatives. There were no Marines on the Joint Chiefs of Staff or at the head of the Pacific War's geographic theaters, so the Marines usually had little influence over the island targets selected for them. See, they were just sent in to, die on the beaches, so you'd think they could have a damn say. The Navy's just like, we're going to take you there, and we're going to shuttle you on those beaches, and it's all up to you from there. I'll tell you what. In addition to bureaucratic obstacles, constricted geography, and vicious Japanese opposition, limited opportunities for Marine generals to earn the kind of renown that Army and Navy commanders achieved elsewhere. In most of their battles on small Pacific War islands, Marine generals had neither the option nor inclination to engage in sophisticated tactics. Instead, they relied on direct frontal assaults that resulted in heavy casualties. Such losses against targets of often questionable strategic value sometimes called into question the Marine Corps' doctrine, mission, and the quality of its combat generals. Despite these difficulties, Marine combat commanders repeatedly overcame challenges and fulfilled their missions. Their ability to do so is a credit to the Corps and demonstrates that these generals deserve more attention from historians than they have so far received. So it's a very narrow topic set there, but I like it. And I'd like to hear more about these Marine generals because, again, the books I've been reading for review, I've been learning a lot about some of these guys, you know? Not just like Chesty Puller and all these other dudes, but some of the others in theater in the Pacific, especially, I'm trying to think of the name now. It was upcoming book. It's called The Mosquito Bowl. It was really good. And it talks about the Marines there, especially a lot of the guys who were former football players. And they talk about the different personalities from whether they were officers or enlisted, and then, of course, the commanders. And I'm blanking on one of the names. But anyway, coming soon. Or it's already out. Okay, but this is coming soon. In order of, I just thought you'd be really stoked to see this. Speaking of World War II, but this is a historian of World War II, but now he's taking it back a bit. You all know this name. You're a World War II fan boy or fangirl. You're going to love to know that Anthony Beevor will have a new book coming out in, I think it's October, so this is kind of going out a ways. I think it's October. It's one of my favorite topics, and you know I lost my mind when I heard about this. I was able to get a galley. Russia, baby. Revolution and Civil War. 1917 to 1921. Anthony Beevor. #1 best-selling author of D-Day and Stalingrad, among many others. So, I'm pretty sure that would probably be the final cover, but obviously this is just a galley, so there's nothing to show you here. I don't have the pub sheet, but I'm quite certain this is either a September or an October book. Well, crap. Yeah, I don't even have something to read for you here, but I wanted to show you. Yeah. New history from Anthony Beevor. Sorry, next time I'll at least pull up the computer screen. I thought I had a pub sheet here, but as you can see, it's going to be nice. Boom. It's about 500 pages, just in the galley, so excellent. What else do we have? Let me take a quick sip. From St. Martin's Press. This book is coming out in September 6th. Always intrigued by China studies. This is Surveillance State. Inside China's quest to launch a new era of social control by Josh Chin and Liza Lin. Again, this is an ARC, Advanced Reader's Copy, but let me read to you what's going on with this book here. So Brave New World meets the Minority Report and this groundbreaking work of investigative nonfiction on life in China's burgeoning surveillance state. So where is the line between digital utopia and digital police state? It is a story born in Silicon Valley and America's war on terror, and now playing out in alarming ways on China's remote Central Asian frontier. As a minority separatist movement strains against party control, China's leaders have built a dystopian police state that keeps millions under the constant gaze of security forces armed with AI. But across the country in the city of Hangzhou, the government is weaving a digital utopia where technology helps optimize everything from traffic patterns to food safety to emergency response. Award-winning journalists Josh Chin and Liza Lin take readers on a journey through the new world China is building within its borders and beyond. Telling harrowing stories of the people and families affected by the party's ambitions, Surveillance State reveals a future that is already underway. A new society engineered around the power of digital surveillance. Yeah, it's already here. That's not surprising at all. But this will be an instructive read as we all go boldly into this uncertain future. I keep looking down because the dogs are acting up a little bit. Martine had to go run some errands, so I'm the one large and in charge. Great, and then I got a couple of books from Casemate I wanted to show you. These are one of their illustrated editions of interesting vehicles from World War II. If any of you are really interested in looking at these, I'd be happy to send them to you. It's really for specialists, but we've got Casemate Illustrated Special Series is like naked hardcover, nice coffee table books. This is the Dodge WC-54 Ambulance by Fabian Raud. Just kind of obviously goes into detail. I mean, really cool pictures. I mean, if you just want to see pictures of, how the ambulances were used, it goes into these look at that, electrical and heating cables. Maybe not my cup of tea, but kind of cool pics in here, things you maybe would not otherwise see. But if you are a car enthusiast of any sorts, a truck enthusiast, historical, if this stuff lights you up, hit me up down below in the comments. Be happy to send this to you. Something just flew. Was that an orb? Okay, was that a gnat? What was that? It's crazy. All right. Next up, U.S. Army Diamond T vehicles in World War II by Didier Andres. So more Army vehicle stuff from World War II. Interesting. Again, if you are an enthusiast with World War II equipment, vehicles of all types, you would love this, and I'd be happy to share with you this book. This is a little too much specificity for me, and seeing as how I do not, I know how to, I know where the oil goes into my car. About it. I'm not a gearhead. I know my dad is, but I don't think but my dad's not much of a reader like this kind of stuff. So he's an engineer. He just likes to build things. So, but he would understand all of this stuff. I just don't have a head for it. But two brand new books from Casemate. Let me know if you're interested. And then, got the good folks from Osprey hooking me up with some really cool stuff. Oh, wait, there's one more thing from Casemate, and I did request this. I didn't know it would be in a very large type of book, but this is based on the, I guess the Hunt for Red October was based on a true story. And they have a very slim little thing about it. It's called The Hunt for the Storozhevoy. The 1975 Soviet Navy mutiny in the Baltic. This is part of their Europe at War series, and this is by Michael Fredholm von Essen. So this is number 19. I didn't know they had a lot of things in here. So when I heard, I was like, so this, they based it on this event. So I'm really, it's a great novel, a great movie, and I'd like to read the real story. Really cool stuff, though. So, what is it about the Storozhevoy here? In 1975, Captain Third Rank Valery Sablin led his crew in a mutiny on the Soviet warship Storozhevoy. The ship was then located in Riga, Soviet Latvia. Sablin's avowed intention was to foment a new communist revolution by taking the warship to Leningrad, where he expected to receive the support of the Navy and the masses. However, the Soviet leadership thought that Sablin intended to defect to Sweden, bringing with him a warship of modern design with all its armaments, electronics, communication devices, and codebooks. As a result, Soviet Supreme Leader Leonid Brezhnev ordered the destruction of the warship. After several dramatic but ultimately failed attacks on the Storozhevoy, Colonel General Sergei Gulyayev, commander of the naval aviation of the Baltic Fleet, personally ordered a missile launch against the Storozhevoy, employing the special protocol for the launch of nuclear missiles. The purpose of the launch was to destroy the warship. However, by then the crew had already detained Sablin and announced their intention to surrender. The air crews did not know this. However, their commanding officer, Colonel Arkip Savinkov, never launched the missile, instead faking a radar malfunction. Wow. The mutiny was over. This is fascinating. Let me tell you some more. Due to the very serious implications of the suppressed mutiny and the difficulties in finding and attacking the Storozhevoy, which showed that the combat readiness of the Soviet armed forces was less than desired, the participating air crews were ordered to destroy any documentation of the incident and keep quiet about what had happened. As a result, not even the KGB could later piece together all events of the incident, nor is there information in Soviet archives on all the actions taken. For much of the mutiny, the Soviet Navy did not even know the correct location of the Storozhevoy. However, the Swedish SIGINT service, which is all caps, it's a SIGINT, the SIGINT service monitored the entire incident in real time. Swedish SIGINT reporting enables a detailed blow-by-blow description of the events. Being real-time intercepts, the reporting is a far more trustworthy source than the later, often embellished accounts previously published. For this reason, the book offers a detailed and authoritative account of the mutiny based on the SIGINT reporting, with supporting evidence from other surviving sources, together with an account of how Western intelligence interpreted and handled the reporting. I could read this in one sitting, but it's fascinating. I mean, it's only like 50 pages long. Very cool. The Real Life Hunt for the Red October, right here. From Helion Company, distributed by Casemate. So thank you. And then finally, we have some books from Osprey. More books for the series that I collect, one of which is one of my favorite new series, the Combat series. You've seen it before on this channel, and I'm not sure if I have a double of this or not. I don't think so, but this is British Celtic Warrior versus Roman Soldier by William Horsted. This covers a period of Britannia AD 43 to 105. Again, slim volumes, super cool. Gets to the point, very rich with photos, illustrations, artwork, maps. What are we talking about here? We're talking maps. Love it. Let's see here. Full page, like, centerpiece artwork. More maps. Karatakis's Last Stand. Good stuff. Every page has got something beautiful and graphic. It's just like reading a mixture of archaeology magazine and military history magazine. It's very cool. And ancient warfare. Nice map of ancient England there. So this is now my, what is this number? Number 65 in the Combat series. Another series I love very much is the Campaign series, and they've got 2 new ones out. I already showed you in this channel part 1 of this one. They had it in 2 parts because it's such a large and important World War II battle. So this is Leyte Gulf, 1944, part 2. And this covers Surigao Strait and Cape Engano by Mark Still, illustrated by Jim Laurier. So I have number 1 already, and I believe I showed you that in one of my previous videos. I know I did, but so this is number 378. Again, the campaign series just is accounts of history's greatest conflicts, detailing the command strategies, tactics, and battle experiences of the opposing forces throughout the crucial stages of each campaign. So this one covers Leyte. In case you're not aware, the Leyte Gulf was both a sea and air effort, but mostly, as you can see, there's a lot of air battles here. It was all out. What is going on back here? What are you doing? No. Oh my God, this dog. Sometimes this puppy just starts chewing the carpeting. Okay, I'm sorry. Woo! Leyte Gulf, 1944, Part 2. I've got 2 more books, and I need to wind this New Week, New Arrivals video up before my puppy eats all of the carpeting. And then the next one we have is number 379 in the campaign series, brand new release. And this is the East Africa campaign, 1914 to 1918. By Van Lauta Vorbeck. Oh, sorry. It's by David Smith. Illustrated by Graham Turner. And its subtitle is Van Lauta Vorbeck's Masterpiece. So a little World War II history on a global kind of scale. Going over to North Africa. It says here, the East African campaign in World War I consisted of a series of battles and guerrilla actions which began in German East Africa in 1914 and spread to portions of Portuguese Mozambique, Northern Rhodesia, British East Africa, the Uganda Protectorate, and the Belgian Congo. German colonial forces under Lieutenant Colonel Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck attempted to divert Allied forces from the Western Front. Despite the efforts of the Allied forces, Lettow-Vorbeck's troops remained undefeated at the end of the war. In this fascinating work, David Smith documents how a wide array of British, Indian, South African, Belgian, Portuguese, and local native forces invaded German East Africa and slowly ousted the German forces, a process made tortuous by Lettow-Vorbeck's masterful management of tactics and movement. Among the events covered are the Battle of Tanga, the scuttling of the Königsberg, the German railway campaign, and the battles at Salada Hill, Kondoa Irangi, Mahenge, Mahiwa, and Namakura. Colorful period, specially commissioned illustrations bring to life wide-ranging and eventful campaign in which a high price was extracted for every inch of ground given up. So it's another, I love World War I history. My knowledge of like the battles on the African continent are a little bit more sketchy, so this is going to be a very useful tool to fill in those blanks and learn about what was going on away from the Western Front. So, East Africa campaign. You better be good. Okay, one more book before she destroys everything. Yeah, and I'm kind of getting into this new series. It's the Air Campaign series, and this is number 30, brand new. This is the Oil Campaign, 1944 to 45, Draining the Wehrmacht's Lifeblood by Stephen J. Zaloga, illustrated by Edward A. Groult. These have been really cool. I've been kind of just dipping in and going through these. It's hella fun. Yep, I did say hella. Look at this art. Look at these illustrations. Wow. Love it. Don't chew anything. Okay. One more little bit to read for you here. In 1944, Germany was in retreat. Losing its oil fields on the Eastern Front, it was becoming completely dependent on its own synthetic oil plants. U.S. Army Air Force General Carl Spaatz determined to cripple the German war machine by destroying them. But it would be a long and bitter campaign as the Germans realized the danger it posed and fought ferociously to defend them. Renowned World War II historian Stephen J. Zaloga explains why the oil campaign was the most decisive air campaign of the war and how the U.S. Army Air Force and Bomber Command achieved this remarkable victory. By fall 1944, fuel shortages forced the Luftwaffe to ground most aircraft except for Defense of the Reich fighters. Kriegsmarine activity was now mostly limited to U-boats, and soon the German army would have to use horses for tactical mobility. So, yeah, includes battle scenes, bird's eye views, maps and diagrams, and expert analysis. There you have it. So Osprey, always making these really cool, dense, but not too, densely packed information into these very slim volumes, but you get a nice high-level view of what's going on. And they always give you resources if you want to read more in the back. They've got for further reading. So, what do we have here? Surveillance State coming at you in September. I believe also Russia. That's the big one. Anthony Beaver coming as well. Out right now, along with the other Osprey books, we've got Commanding the Pacific, Marine Corps Generals in World War II, Naval Institute Press, and then African Founders. I think this one's getting massive coverage everywhere. It's getting reviewed everywhere. I'd like to just dig in and take my time with this one. Let me know if anyone else out there is interested in reading this. Maybe we can exchange notes. But African Founders, How Enslaved People Expanded American Ideals, by David Hackett Fisher, whose books I'm also currently collecting. I think I have one, I think is Washington's Crossing, but I want to get Champlain's Dream, and yeah, I think that's the only one I don't have. So, guys, that's my new week, new arrivals. Let me know what you think. As always, thanks for joining me here at the History Shelf, and always tell me what you're reading. What history is on your shelf? All right, until next time, guys, have a good one. Stay cool. Bye.